right? But an APC ally, one of the Tinubu's, stronger defenders, and in fact, every time I look at him, he actually reminds me of the late Jesu Tega or Nokpasa. He called all these guys noisemakers. But why? You should listen.
And I put it to you, Malam El-Rufai should be disregarded. He's a rabble-rouser. He's a rabble-rouser because, one, this was the Kaduna state that he ran for 8 years. He can't even go back there freely because the members of House of Assembly, they took a vote on his government, and it was a vote of no confidence on his government. So what is his pride? Why does he think that the northern Nigeria will follow him in his dance of Makaba? Why does he think so? Why does he think that he controls the northern Nigeria? Who gave him that confidence that he's Mr. Right in Nigeria and what he says makes meaning? As far as Nigerians are concerned, Malam El-Rufai is a time waster. A man who has no understanding of loyalty. A man who has been publicly called a pathological liar. And he didn't even mind. He has no reputation. He's deficient in character. He's defective in behavior. All he knows is about himself. His son is a member of the House of Reps. And his son is not even following him in this charade, in this dance of Makaba.
Right.
So
we're almost out of time. How much do you think Mr. Tinubu's decision to let go of people like Nasir El-Rufai has split the president's support base? Because El-Rufai was a big supporter of the president previously. I mean, is the president risking party unity? Has the defection of many other politicians to the APC compensated for that?
What could the president have done if the man decides to turn coat and begin to criticize him all over Nigeria?
Wasn't it the president who turned coat against him
How
first?
do you say so? The man says, I want to make you minister. He nominated you as a minister. You are invited to the Senate for screening. You didn't make the Senate screening. You turned around to say it is the man that didn't want you. So what's the essence of asking you to go, nominating you in the first instance? I mean, you see, I have told you, Malam El-Rufai is suffering from ego infliction. The day he recognizes that everything does not have to go his way is the day he will get a bit of wisdom. Nigeria is not run like that. Why won't you say, oh, because I did this for the party, I campaigned for him, I was the one that orchestrated the fact that power must shift to the south, I give that to him. I was here. The day somebody came to say, Buhari says he would prefer the former Senate president, I was here. It was Malam El-Rufai that braved it and met Buhari and said, did you say this? And that is good. But all the Malam El-Rufai was doing in that time was to position himself as vice president. That was his ambition. Now that he couldn't make the vice president, he began to accuse the NSA from Adamawa, Ribadu. After Ribadu didn't mind him, he went all out and said he will make sure Ashwaju doesn't come back. Who is he?
Right. Okay.
Is it Nigeria? And
I know his type. He needs to go on TV and respond. How dare El-Rufai go on TV? Who is he? There are people like them. If you have listened to Onokpasa before, that's how he himself was sounding. But just give him some years down the line. You are likely going to see him on your TV telling you that, honestly, it is about us. As you let us down. And they will tell you to forgive him with that passion. He's making outlandish accusations just to let you see who is he? It's a desperate, you're not going to come. Well, I think what really got most of them is what El-Rufai said. He didn't just say Tinubu will be, defeated. He He called them urban bandits who have hijacked power in the contraption. This was just yesterday.
Everybody is talking about his aspiration.
But they're all checking each other out.
Well, I'm sure they would. I mean, we are politicians. We are students of power. So yes, they will do that. But nobody is talking about, I want to be the president, or leave this for me, and so on. Everybody is saying we have a problem. This country is targeted for destruction by a collection of urban bandits. Let's come together, send them back home, and put this country back on track. Well, it is about fixing the country. Nobody is talking about his ambition. And that has been very good so far, and I'm encouraged.
Right. Well, I'm going to come back to that issue in a moment. Why the public mood is, because it is fair to say that many people may not like Mr. Tinubu, but many of them are undecided and are not necessarily convinced that people like you or Atiku or Obi or Kwankwaso are a better alternative.
Well, we have to ask the people to make up their minds. Do you like what is happening? This is just 2 years, okay? If you're happy with what is happening, if your life has got better since President Tinubu was sworn in on May 29, 2023, fine. But if not, why not give some other people a chance?
Well, the reason I ask that is because, I'm wondering whether you've carried out any sort of scientific poll to actually determine how popular he is. Because
no, we have.
I remember in 2023.
Yes, we have.
When you were sitting where you're sitting now, and I interviewed you,
yes,
and I quoted the polls to you that suggested that Mr. Tinubu was only marginally popular.
Yes.
And you disputed that.
Yes.
But in the end, he could only manage less than a third of the vote, or around a third.
Yes.
While the two leading opposition candidates got collectively 2/3 of the vote.
True. Throughout the polling before the 2023 election, we knew that the election was going to be tight, very tight. But we were ahead. We knew we were going to be tight. We have done some polling. And I have mentioned some time ago that in many parts of the country, particularly in the southeast and the north, President Tinubu has 91% disapproval rating. Even in Lagos, he has 78% disapproval rating. Okay, in some states,
and that's a scientific poll.
It's a scientific poll,
right.
And in some states in the southwest, he's doing a bit better. Ondo, Ekiti. He's doing better than 78% disapproval rating, but there is nowhere he's doing better than 50%, even in the southwest. The guy is gone. He's performed miserably. The economy has tanked. The security architecture has failed. There are no clear trade, industrial, and investment policies. Everything is going wrong. They are raising lots of revenues, but we don't know where the revenues are going because there are no results.
Well, they say they're giving a lot of that money to the states. And let's face it, development, you were a governor before.
Yeah, the states
are responsible for development.
They are not responsible for all development.
Not all.
States are responsible for education, healthcare, and so on.
Key, aren't
but major infrastructure, electricity, our rail system, our aviation system, the telecom system, is all under exclusively federal so far. So yes, the states are getting more money in Naira terms, but my question is, where are the results? President Tinubu went to Kaduna last week to commission projects. 90% of all the projects he commissioned were the projects that I did and took to 90% plus. Okay? No new projects have been initiated and commissioned in 2 years by this administration, even though they have had much more money. So the question is, and I gave the example of Kaduna only because I'm from the state and I know it pretty well and I get a lot of data about what is going on there. But the story is the same in most states of Nigeria. Some governors are trying hard, but frankly, most of them are not doing much with those resources. And the federal oversight is very weak because the president wants all the governors to be in APC.
But they would make the argument.
Nobody is talking about his aspiration.
So they all check.
So that's why he told them. He called them urban bandits. They want to send them back. So what's Tinubu's response? To let you know that when Tinubu said, I don't read the social media anymore,
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please.
forget about it. So it was in Nasarawa today to commission a bridge, by a governor. So let's go take a look at how that went, right? First, driving from Abuja to Nasarawa. I think that's just probably like a 30, 40 minutes drive. How far is it? Lafia to Abuja. Well, here was Kolu on his way.
He never did here. He did yes. He did yes. The governor. Okay, now him. Now him. Don't pass. I don't tell you. Don't pass. Count moto. Now him. That cut of arm where you see. Now him. You don't pass. That motor. Let's see our guys. That's all. Let's see the car. The president, security open door like this they go. You don't have to wait for any governor there. Now all these politicians they follow for back. No, for where? Yes, sir. Okay, you want to talk now. So it's supposed to come down there. So yes, another people.
I'll show you the bridge. It's a flyover think it's 100 meters, be 200 meters, I don't know. So Kolu was there. And it was where, among many things he said, all right, where he sends a reply back to the people who are conspiring or coming together in a coalition to get rid of him. Kolu.
We've got the West. You've listened to a daily alake. I won't go much on the economic dynamism that we are facing. But the hope is here. From this moment on, you will have no regrets. I could see hard work coming from AA Sule. Determined to use the resources available to him for the benefit, stability, and prosperity of Nasarawa State. Sule is doing well because Ebola Tinubu is doing well too. Those who have triggered the alley politics and the partition of coalition, suddenly, just don't pay them any attention. They are the political IDPs. Don't give them a home. The hope is here. Sule is doing well. We will support whatever a Governor Sule brings about to work harder for the prosperity and renaissance of Nasarawa State. That's what we stand for.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Apart from calling them political IDPs, be honest too. Yeah, be honest. Could you make any sense out of what Tinubu said? He said they have cut the waste. Now, full of balablu nonsense. So I'm trying to speak his words and see if you could probably probe them. I'm asking you, can you make any sense of it? Because it is only in Nigeria that somebody will speak English and he will need an interpreter. It all started from Bokwari's time. Bokwari will say something stupid, which he did all the time. Educated people will now be interpreting what Bokwari meant. I bet they are doing it for Tinubu too. Person where they speak English, will not make any sense. Sentences that you couldn't really like. Now, educated people will go to explain them to you. And say, then they will say, your own brain, no fee carry what Tinubu, what he's saying. And you're like, Ronokus. They are special breed. Give it to them. You know, when you look at people fooling around and you're arguing with them, Baba, you get strength, though. You know, they will be explaining to you. They will say, now you know, understand what Tinubu is saying is. So let's speak his words. All right. They have cut the waste. You know, he's trying to sound kind of like intelligent by using the same line of propaganda, but he's abysmal, very poor in delivery. but he's very, very proud. You know what they say about intelligent people and foolish people? Foolish people are or can be very loud and proud,